Moloney Street Re, your Nigeria stock market investing friend, guides you through the labyrinth of stock investing in Nigeria. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share to keep up with our useful insights. Bue Cement PLC. Bue Cement is a dividend-paying company with a current yield of 1.4% that is well covered by earnings. Bue Cement's dividend, 1.4%, is not notable compared to the bottom 25% of dividend payers, 2.05% in the market, and is low compared to top 25% of the dividend payers of 6.32%. With Bue Cement's high payout ratio, 97.5%, its dividend payments are not well covered by its earnings. Bue Cement's dividend payments are not well covered by cash flows with a high cash payout ratio, 221.3%. Bue Cement's 143.20 Naira price is trading above the estimated 87.4 Naira. A price to earnings of 69.8x is expensive compared to peers' average. Bue Cement is expensive based on its price to earnings ratio of 69.86 compared to the peer average of 24.9x. Bue Cement has a total shareholder equity of 385.2 billion Naira and total debt of 583.4 billion Naira, which brings its debt to equity ratio to 151.4%. Its total assets and total liabilities are 1,215.7 billion Naira and 830.5 billion Naira respectively. Bue Cement's EBIT is 143.2 billion Naira, making its interest coverage ratio 27.5. It has cash and short-term investments of 225.1 billion Naira. Stanbic IBTC Holdings PLC. Stanbic is a dividend-paying company with a current yield of 6.85% that is well covered by earnings. Stanbic's dividend, 6.85%, is higher than the bottom 25% of dividend payers, 2.05% in the market, and is low compared to top 25% of the dividend payers of 6.32%. With Stanbic's low payout ratio, 34.8%, its dividend payments are well covered by its earnings. Stanbic's dividends in 3 years are forecast to be covered by earnings of 50.3% payout ratio. EPS 10.62 Naira, up from 6.02 Naira in financial year 2022. Revenue 339.7 billion Naira, up 48% from financial year 2022. Net income 137.6 billion Naira, up 76% from financial year 2022. Profit margin 41%, up from 34% in financial year 2022. The increase in margin was driven by higher revenue. Living Trust Mortgage Bank PLC. LTBNG is a dividend-paying company with a current yield of 0.92% that is well covered by earnings. LTBNG's dividend, 0.992%, is not notable compared to the bottom 25% of dividend payers, 2.05% in the market, and is low compared to top 25% of the dividend payers of 6.32%. EPS 0.15 Naira, down from 0.16 Naira in financial year 2022. Revenue 1.99 billion Naira, up 2.2% from financial year 2022. Net income 745.8 million Naira, down 9.2% from financial year 2022. Profit margin 37%, down from 42% in financial year 2022. The decrease in margin was driven by higher expenses. Bua Foods PLC. Bua Foods is a dividend-paying company with a current yield of 1.45% that is well covered by earnings. Bua Foods' dividend, 1.45%, is higher than the bottom 25% of dividend payers, 2.05% in the market, and is low compared to top 25% of the dividend payers of 6.32%. With Bua Foods' low payout ratio, 88.3%, its dividend payments are well covered by its earnings. Bua Foods is paying a dividend, but the company has no cash flows. EPS 6.23 Naira, up from 5.8 Naira in financial year 2022. Revenue 729.4 billion Naira, up 74% from financial year 2022. Net income 112.1 billion Naira, up 23% from financial year 2022. Profit margin 15%, down from 22% in financial year 2022. The decrease in margin was driven by higher expenses. Berger Paints PLC. Berger is a dividend-paying company with a current yield of 9.41% that is well covered by earnings. Berger's dividend of 9.41% is higher than the bottom 25% of dividend payers, 2.05% in the market, and is in the top 25% of the dividend payers, 6.32%. With Burger's low payout ratio of 55%, its dividend payments are well covered by its earnings. Burger's high payout ratio of 469.8%, but these dividend payments are not well covered by cash flows. EPS 6.23 Naira, up from 5.08 Naira in financial year 2022. Revenue 729.4 billion Naira, up 74% from financial year 2022. Net income 112.1 billion Naira, up 23% from financial year 2022. Profit margin 15%, down from 22% in financial year 2022. The decrease in margin was driven by higher expenses. Unilever Nigeria PLC. Unilever is a dividend-paying company with a current yield of 4.87% that is well covered by earnings. Unilever's dividend of 4.87% is higher than the bottom 25% of dividend payers, 2.05% in the market, and is in the top 25% of the dividend payers, 6.32%. Unilever's 15.4 Naira is trading below the estimated fair value of 16.96 Naira, but not by a significant amount. Unilever is good based on its price to earnings ratio, 5.4x, compared to the peer average 13.2x. With Unilever's low payout ratio of 26.2%, its dividend payments are well covered by its earnings. Unilever's high payout ratio of 71%, but the company has no cash flows. EPS 2.86 Naira, up from 0.94 Naira in financial year 2022. Revenue 103.9 billion Naira, up 51% from financial year 2022. Net income 16.4 billion Naira, up 205% from financial year 2022. Profit margin 16%, up from 7.8% in financial year 2022. The increase in margin was driven by higher revenue. Nigerian Aviation Handling Company PLC. NAGCO is a dividend-paying company with a current yield of 3.61% that is well covered by earnings. NAGCO's dividend of 3.61% is higher than the bottom 25% of dividend payers, 2.14% in the market, and is in the top 25% of the dividend payers, 6.5%. NACO's 33.25. Naira is trading above the estimated fair value of 3.77 Naira by a significant amount. NACO is good based on its price to earnings ratio, 10.5x, compared to the peer average, 14.7x. NACO's earnings have grown significantly by 63.4% over the past 5 years. NACO's earnings growth over the past year by 132.2%. With NACO's low payout ratio of 42.5%, its dividend payments are well covered by its earnings. NACO's high cash payout ratio of 313.4%. Its dividend payments are not well covered by cash flows. EPS 3.17 Naira, up from 136 Naira in financial year 2022. Revenue 28.0 billion Naira, up 68% from financial year 2022. Net income 6.17 billion Naira, up 132% from financial year 2022. Profit margin 22%, up from 16% in financial year 2022. The increase in margin was driven by higher revenue. Julius Berger Nigeria PLC. Berger is a dividend-paying company with a current yield of 5.13% that is well covered by earnings. Berger's dividend of 5.13% is higher than the bottom 25% of dividend payers, 2.145% in the market, and is in the top 25% of the dividend payers of 6.5%. Berger's 58.5 Naira is trading below the estimated fair value of 214.26 Naira by a significant amount. Berger is good based on its price to earnings ratio 7.5x compared to the peer average 23.6x. EPS 7.78 Naira, up from N495 in FY 2022. Revenue 443.4 billion Naira, flat on financial year 2022. Net income 12.6 billion Naira, up 59% from financial year 2022. Profit margin 2.8%, up from 1.8% in financial year 2022. MC's Oil Nigeria PLC. MC's is a dividend-paying company with a current yield of 1.75% that is well covered by earnings. MCS's dividend 1.75% is not notable compared to the bottom 25% of dividend payers, 2.114% in the market, and is in the top 25% of the dividend payers of 6.5%. MCS's 135 Naira is trading below the estimated fair value of 431.19 Naira by a significant amount. Emphasis low payout ratio, 20%. Dividend payments are well covered by earnings. Emphasis cash payout ratio of 30.4%. Dividend payments are well covered by cash flows. EPS 14,028 Naira, up from 384 Naira in financial year 2022. Revenue 182.3 billion Naira, up 81% from financial year 2022. Net income 490 billion Naira, up 272% from financial year 2022. Profit margin 2.7%, up from 1.3% in financial year 2022. The increase in margin was driven by higher revenue. USC of Nigeria PLC. UACN is a dividend-paying company with a current yield of 1.72% that is well covered by earnings. UACN's dividend, 1.72%, is not notable compared to the bottom 25% of dividend payers, 2.14% in the market, and is in the top 25% of the dividend payers of 6.5%. UACN's 12.8 Naira is trading above the estimated fair value of 0.79 Naira by a significant amount. UACN's low payout ratio, 7%. Dividend payments are thoroughly covered by earnings. UACN is paying a dividend, but the company has no free cash flows. EPS 276 Naira, up from 1.07 Naira loss in financial year 2022. Revenue 118.7 billion Naira, up 8.6% from financial year 2022. Net income 8.08 billion Naira, up 11.2 billion Naira from financial year 2022. Profit margin 6.8%, up from net loss in financial year 2022. The move to profitability was primarily driven by higher revenue. United Capital PLC. UCAP is a dividend-paying company with a current yield of 8.96% that is well covered by earnings. UCAP's dividend, 8.96%, is higher than the bottom 25% of dividend payers, 2.14% in the market, and is in the top 25% of the dividend payers of 6.5%. UCAP's 12.8 Naira is trading above the estimated fair value of 0.79 Naira by a significant amount. UCAP's 20.1 Naira is trading above the estimated fair value 4.38 Naira. UCAP's is paying a dividend, but the company has no free cash flows. EPS 106 Naira, up from 161 Naira in financial year 2022. Revenue 45.9 billion Naira, up 86% from financial year 2022. Net income 11.4 billion Naira, up 18% from financial year 2022. Profit margin 25%, down from 39% in financial year 2022. The decrease in margin was driven by higher expenses. Investing in Nigerian stocks presents opportunities for wealth creation and portfolio growth. However, it demands knowledge, research, and strategic planning. By understanding the basics of stock investing, conducting diligent research, and implementing diversification strategies, you can navigate the Nigerian stock market effectively and construct a resilient investment portfolio for the long term. Stay tuned to Molani Street E for more insights and guides by subscribing to our channels on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, X, and TikTok. Don't delay, subscribe, like, comment, and share right now.